All right, we're in our Maverick on our seatbelt project, and I'll of course have links for all these belts and everything, but we're putting 3-point seatbelts in a car that didn't have 3-point seatbelts. And after much consideration and head scratching here, I figured out that the retractor will actually go behind the trim panel, and you can see where this bracket is for the trim panel, and it's right out there. It's going to be close, but it'll work. You can see where the bracket is up there too, so it'll go in behind the trim panel. The trim panels that were on this car had somebody already cut holes. I'm not sure if they're ashtrays or whatever. This is a 69.5 car, so not really sure about what was there, but it already had some holes in it, and somebody prior to me had made some little fake armrest and put on there. So I've enlarged that hole, and I'm using a I'll show you when we get to the installation, but I'm using a little snap-in bezel that I actually had left over from my 78 Mustang project that serves the same purpose on those cars. So I'll show you the bracket. It's just bolted right through the floor, right there with the big washers, top and bottom. With all that hardware came in the seatbelt kit that I'll link to, of course. So that goes in there fine. The front side, get really hard. Oh no, it's going to be. So it has a little lever that actually pushes that thing forward. This was a bench seat car, so that actually makes it work better with the buckets. So see how all that is there. So the upper is kind of a weird deal, so let me reset and I'll show you that. All right, we're back on the seatbelt project, and this car, to put 3-point belts in an early car, there's some weirdness here. So let me show you what we got here. So the hole is actually here. You have to cut a hole in the headliner. If your car still has the coat hook in it, it'll be just in front of the coat hook, but you can actually feel this threaded hole in here. It's 4 3/4 inches from this little body line right here in front of the quarter glass back to the hole, and you can see how far up it is. A couple of issues. So issue number one is that's a 5/8 hole in there in the seat belt. This is a 3/8 bolt, a 3/8 coarse threaded bolt, and seat belts were just coming into vogue here. The feds mandated for years that seatbelt bolts are supposed to be a 7/16 20, and that's what the rest of them are that are in the floor already on the car, but this up here is a 3/8. So it gives us a multitude of problems here. The first thing is, the 3/8 is just sloppy in the hole, which I don't like. And this thing needs to pivot. I mean, there's going to be some of this action going on. So what I came up with, I actually made these on the lathe. I'll put a still pic up there of them too, but they're just some little collars. They're 3/8 on the inside, 5/8 on the outside, and they're 3/16 thick. These are an 1/8. So if you put that in the hole, and then I got my grade 8 3/8 coarse thread bolt. If it'll focus on it, it won't. But anyway, with a lock washer on it. And what that's going to allow us to do is to tighten this down and have that still be able to pivot up there. I've got to put it all through the interior trim panel. You got to have this thing on there. This actually hooks over the back of this whole thing, so this cannot be tight. This cannot be tight against the headliner, or that's not going to go in there. So that's why I've made these little collars. So all this is going to bolt up here. So let me get the interior trim panel in it. I'll show you what I've done there, and we'll go on from there. All right, so we're making some progress. The passenger side in there. Thing works fine. Like I said, it gives us enough room to pivot up there, get everything together like it should be. Little thing right here that's really hard to see. I'll come back when we get the other side on. It's dark in here today, but I want to come back and make this point. So these belts are not right and left. So this retractor actually has to go in opposite for the belt to come out of it right. So on the passenger side, the cover is going to be towards the outside. On the driver's side, the cover is going to be towards the inside, and the bolt's going to be on the outside. It still works. I mean, you can see you got enough to get the panel in there. It's no problem, but you have to drill. You have to have it in that orientation, and you have to drill the hole out farther to get that to clear the inner structure. So I just wanted to come back and make that point. So let's get it together the rest of the way, and we'll come back one more time. All right, we're back to wrap up the whole seatbelt deal, and I'm really happy with this. So it took a little doing. I think it looks pretty factory, actually. Little bezel things left over from my 78 Mustang project. But I think everything looks, like I said, pretty factory. You do need there's two choices on these center belts. 12-inch with the plastic thing, but you need the 25. The buckle's buried down too far, and the belts are not comfortable with it there. I actually have both, but you need the 25. But everything worked out well. Really happy with how all this is. And it already had these others. It already had the lift style belts in it, so I just got that to match the rear. But anyway, all in all, really cool. Any questions? Leave me some comments down there. Appreciate everybody watching. Talk to you next time.